here's Brody Brazil.
Well, the mystery construction project continues down at Dodger Stadium, and I'm not suggesting that the team is trying to keep this secret. They have let out the fact that they're spending about $100 million this offseason to install some brand new clubhouse facilities on both sides of the venue, the home side, obviously the third base side, and here on the first base side, the visitor side. And what we can take away right here, right now, also, before anything else, credit to Vast Sky Media. A great job that channel's been doing in putting out aerial drone photography and video. So check out Vast Sky Media for the full video of this. I'll be just borrowing some still images. But what you can see now is what they dug out, what they built, and what's going to exist on both sides of Dodger Stadium. You can also kind of draw out the foul line here and see how much of this is actually under the actual playing fairground surface and then how much of it is under the stands and foul territory. Here, you know what? I'll do this in red. So it is kind of interesting to always now know what will exist under the field and under the stands at Dodger Stadium. But here's really the biggest takeaway. I forgot to mention this at the very start. You know, there was maybe some speculation about how much work and digging was being done, and would all of this be ready by opening day? I mean, we are basically right now about a month and a half until the Dodgers will play their first home game at Dodger Stadium. But I think there's a lot more sense of security and understanding that the big trenches here are done. There's not a huge pile of dirt. There still is a big one, which I'll show you in just a second over there in right center field. But all of this is getting done. The process is moving forward. Now, in terms of what exists down below there, like how much they'll have to build it all out and do all of the framing and interior work of walls and ceilings and doors and electrical stuff down below, like that remains to be seen. The bottom line is the stadium will be ready and done. You'd have to think for Major League Baseball games when it's time. So if there was any concern, because again, we're not getting much information from the Dodgers, it does seem, from my very amateur opinion, like things have now taken some significant steps forward, and it doesn't feel like a problem that they will get all of this done. Not that there ever was a huge concern, but it does now feel like that. The other thing I want to point out while we have this angle up here, like there's new scaffolding behind home plate. I feel like there's also even more, not over there. Let me take that one back. There's also more seats over here that have been removed. So it kind of feels like even more work is being done on the stadium than anybody initially knew or expected, more than just these clubhouses. But yeah, more work continues as this winter kind of winds down into spring. Let me also show you something here that I've totally geeked out on, like in this entire process, is the infrastructure part of it. And seeing how they're planning out the future and the future needs of this ballpark. But one other thing real quick, it really does look like they cut the dugout there right off, the first base dugout and the third base dugout. I mean, that's a hard line right there. You can kind of see the rebar right there that they've already formed back into place. So they're going to kind of fill out the rest of the dugout and rebuild it back. But yeah, they had to like sawzall it off basically to start construction on what they wanted to do. Here's what I wanted to point out though. See all that conduit right there, which starts in those access panels, and then it goes straight down into that team facility on the first base side there. Maybe I should have done that in red. And so I always love planning for the future, right? Because in 10, 15 years, maybe there's something better than fiber optic connectivity, and maybe there's some better type of wires and cables to run down there. And it's not a problem if you have these panels, there's 3 of them right there, and on the back side of those panels, which is all buried and underground, is the conduit. You can push new cable through those conduits, and you can have the ability to kind of literally pipe in whatever you want into those facilities. So I'm sure that also exists on the third base side too, the home side. But yeah, I mean, very well thought out. And of course, when you're doing a project of this magnitude, you know it's going to be thought out. I'm still curious as to what this trench is right here. Like it goes behind home plate. I think there's like a water line. Maybe they redid the water line out to the field. That's usually where the grounds crew plugs in, and they take the hose and they water down the infield. Maybe it's as simple as they just redid it. But yeah, all the infrastructure stuff I'm totally geeked out on. By the way, all of this now is concreted in. It looks like it's ready for railing right here, and it's ready for seats right here, and it's ready for dirt to be put back on over here. So again, all of it seeming to come together on the first base side pretty well. Now this is the home side, this is the third base side, where it actually appears like this is coming second. Usually you'd think that, hey, they need to take care of the Dodgers side first. Maybe it doesn't matter here because they're going to need concrete here, but they're going to put concrete over all of this. They're going to put, 1 row, 2 rows, 3 rows, 4 rows, however many rows, 12 rows, 10 rows maybe. But you can see the framing for all that concrete work is already being done. Oh yeah, all this video was taken from 2 or 3 days ago as I'm recording this. So maybe when you see it 3 or 4 days ago, very recent, but probably by the time you're watching this, all of this concrete and the framing has already been done and the framing has probably been removed. This is not one of the time-consuming parts of a construction project usually is pouring and framing that concrete. And then the second to last thing I wanted to show you here is just more trenching. And I always kind of wonder, like, what's going on here? They've got the excavator and they're working on, what's probably about a 6-foot trench here. I wonder where they're going down there. What are they doing? What are they doing? Is this for drainage? Is this to put something else out in the field? Just kind of curious as they rip apart this stadium and you never get to see this kind of stuff. What are they laying the groundwork for, literally, for the future? I'm always kind of interested in that. But again, all of this is going to come together quite fast. I'll draw the foul line out there. I mean, by baseball season, when you see the aerial shots of Dodger Stadium, you'll have no clue that any of this actually occurred. You know what I'm realizing? And again, if you're in construction, if you're in landscaping, from a commercial perspective, tell me if I'm right or wrong here, but isn't that teal-colored piping right there, isn't that drainage? Isn't that the color of like a drain pipe? Isn't maybe that's what they're doing is like French-style drains to get water off the playing surface and out of the way. Maybe that's exactly what's going on there. But again, all of this is buried. So now you can kind of see exactly where, this is where the Dodgers home clubhouse facilities are going to be, all the way down to the foul pole. I mean, think about that. If the foul pole is let's say from home plate to left field down the line at Dodger Stadium, what is it? I'll guess, I should have looked this up. Let's say it's like 313. And let's say that the part of the dugout closest to home plate is maybe only 30, 40 feet away. Like the dugout is like halfway up the third base line. My point is 413 minus even 40 feet, you're still talking about, 273 feet. I shouldn't have done math here on the spot. This was such a bad idea. 273 feet of clubhouse facility from end to end. I also should have done this in a different color so you can probably see it better on the screen. My point is, that is a huge facility. That's a huge workspace and area for the Dodgers with the dugout, with the old clubhouse, with the new clubhouse facility all underground. That is a massive space. I mean, I estimated it to be, I think on both sides here, one of my prior videos, maybe 10,000 square feet. It's like the size of, 5 typical single-family homes out here in California, if the average one is maybe 2,000 square feet. I don't know. So anyway, one more thing. That pile of dirt, remember how high that used to be? I mean, that thing was way up here. Looked like a volcano is set to erupt. Is that what a volcano looks like? Me and this telestrator, I tell you. And then how about this? The dumpster with graffiti on it. I mean, so Los Angeles right there. Oh, one more thing. Look at all the porta potties. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. No fewer than 15 porta potties out in right center field there at Dodger Stadium. Who will ever forget? Actually, who will ever know this took place if it wasn't for Vast Sky Media and some others who have done a great job in documenting this progress via the drone shots? You never would have known. And again, even more work continuing with all that scaffolding there. Looks like maybe the press box area is getting a little upgrade. Joe Davis and company getting maybe a better broadcast booth. So yeah, I think the takeaway from this video is that things are moving along. This is huge progress. All of this, from my perspective, you would think would have no problem getting done by opening day 2025, which is right around the corner down in Los Angeles and across the country. That's the end of this video. I'm probably going to do just maybe 1 or 2 more updates on the progress here, maybe as this gets close to completion, and show you how maybe at the end of it, nothing looks different from the playing surface. But down below, what does it actually look like? And yeah, when they actually let cameras down there or they show some renderings, I'll love to share that too. We just don't have that yet. Thumbs up down below. That'll help me, this video, and this channel. I'd appreciate that. Also, don't forget to go down there and subscribe to this channel. That way I can definitely see you back here next time.